Why, hello everybody. Welcome to Outdoor Adventures. For those of you that don't know me, maybe you're new to the channel, my name's Frozen. And everybody, thank you so much for joining me today on this beautiful 10-degree morning out at my local park, kind of right behind my house, just doing some slow walking and enjoying the sights and the scenery. It's official, everybody. I'm gonna be hiking the Pacific Crest Trail this year, starting in April. I can't wait. It's gonna be such a blast. And honestly, the fact that this thru hike is still happening after, COVID and getting a new job and inflation, man, I am so happy that it's happened. It's such a triumph, such a success, and I can't wait to share it with you all. So in this video series, I'm gonna do some pre-Pacific Crest Trail talk. We're gonna talk about, in this video at least, who I am and why I'm thru hiking. We'll get into budgetary stuff, how I'm affording this thru hike. And then we'll deep dive into all the gear that I'm bringing for the Pacific Crest Trail, talk about each specific category and kind of why I made that choice to bring it along with me. So let's kick this video right off. If you don't know me, again, I'm Frozen. I am 40 years old. Oh, I'm an old man now. I got two stepkids, a boy and a girl, Tucker and Scarlett. They are 10 and 9 respectively. And I also have Logan, my son, who was gonna be 2 in May. So our birthdays are kind of all close together, me and my wife's and his. So I thru hiked the Appalachian Trail in its entirety at 35, 36. I loved it, man. There were so many great things that came out of that thru hike. I hiked it because I was really depressed, not really feeling life, and I was struggling, man, and I came out of there stronger than ever before. And that continues to this day. Sorry, I'm looking around. There's a lot of trees cracking around me, making sure nothing's gonna fall on me today. And it was literally the greatest thing I ever did, was to thru hike the AT. I met a lot of good people out there, and it just kind of restored my faith in humanity. But this time, I'm not hiking for depression. I'm hiking really, one, to just hike it and experience something as magical as the Pacific Crest Trail. There's a couple reasons I am thru hiking though, the PCT. For one, I made a promise to myself on the AT that I'd thru hike again within 5 years, just to see if the trail had anything left to teach me. I learned a lot on the AT, and there's always that thought of, what else could it teach me, in the back of my mind. What I'm hoping it will teach me is, having a family and having kids especially. You guys know. Kids take a lot of patience, and life itself takes a lot of patience, and I'm not the most patient person, and I'd like to get better at that. I really would. So in this hike, I'm really gonna be focusing on my patience level, my stress, maybe a little bit of anxiety. Nothing as major as my depression a few years back, but I'd hope that maybe it could teach me some patience. Live life on a not so fast paced, me being in the computer field for as long as I have, well, we're always fast paced. We're always checking emails and looking at phones and text messages and answering the boss and picking up your phone calls and doing tasks and projects that sometimes you forget that all that stuff isn't gonna matter. The only thing that matters is your family. And that's what I'd kind of like to learn. And it's not about me anymore. It's about the family. And that may be counterintuitive, because I'm picking up and leaving them for 4 to 5 months. But I think in the long run, especially if one of the kids, they need to learn something, like I've learned from all the thru hikers that I've watched, maybe they'll watch me one day when they're older and learn something. Maybe when I'm not here, I don't know. But just that idea that could happen is really pushing this thru hike. I hope my nose isn't running all over my mustache, as gross as that is. It's really cold out here. Maybe we need to go back inside for a bit. So let's get to it. I'll see you back inside. All right. I'm glad I actually came back when I did, because my camera batteries are at 1%, so I had to plug them in. I guess the weather will do that to those batteries though. All right, let's see. Where was I? Recently, I was diagnosed with some kind of autoimmune disease. I've been having some weird joint pain and some tight tendon issues that Honestly, it took a year for each issue to dissipate. I had a thing here, I had a thing here. Right after the COVID shot, my finger blew up as big as a hot dog, and it's kind of scary, but they were thinking about it, at least amputating it if it got any worse, because they weren't sure what was going on. Originally, they thought it was rheumatoid arthritis. Again, I'm 40 years old. This shouldn't be happening yet, but it's some kind of autoimmune disease. So what we've narrowed it down to is possibly lupus, which does run in my family. I think my mom, my aunt, and my grandmother have it, which is weird because most of the time lupus only affects women and rarely does it affect men. The best way to combat lupus is to stay as active as possible, and that's exactly what I'm doing. You know, I figure what better way to stay as active as possible as to go through hike 2,652 miles from Mexico to Canada, right? That's another reason why I'm going to be hiking the trail, just to kind of kick my butt into high gear, into being active. Another couple things about me. I've been in the computer field for probably way too long. I do still love it. However, you know, with the autoimmune disease news, I might think about getting out of it and going into something more active. No idea. I figure I have 4 to 5 months to think about it, so we shall see what happens. I'm at the senior IT level at this point. Lots of responsibilities, lots of planning, lots of late hours. You get it for those IT people out there. I have 2 dogs in addition to the 3 kids. I have a beagle named Blaze and an Australian cattle dog named Reese. Reese will probably be coming out with me on some of my day hikes to condition for this trip, which we'll talk about in my training and exercise videos coming up. And I still enjoy playing games. The latest couple of games that I've been working on or have finished would be Cyberpunk 2077 and Hogwarts Legacy. Not a Harry Potter fan though, surprisingly. I'm more of Lord of the Rings fan. It's kind of like the Star Trek versus the Star Wars thing, which I'm a fan of both of those too. All-time favorite game, Witcher 3. Can't beat The Witcher 3, especially with the next-gen graphics upgrades. Anyway, that's probably enough about me, more than you probably ever wanted to know in your entire life. But I can't wait to share this journey with you all. And really, it's getting real now because the videos are starting to come out now. You know, the announcement video was one thing, but when we're doing the pre-videos, pretty close. Let me know if you guys have any comments or questions, or maybe you want me to cover a topic in a future video. I have a lot of stuff planned already, so more than likely I'll get to you and get to your questions in a later video. But if you think it's something off the wall, definitely leave a comment below and I'll try to work it in. Maybe we'll have a Q&A before I leave or something. Anyway guys, thanks a lot. I'll see you on the trail.